The classic Thursday morning review.
Welcome back to the Thursday Morning Review on the Triple HA Network. I'm your host, Student. Before we get into it, I'm so happy and honored, but not proud, to welcome my guest host for today's show, learner and pupil. Come on in, guys. Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Student. Why is there TMR instead of nothing?
Thank you, Student, for letting me come here. Learner, I'm gonna let you do the honors.
This week's episode is brought to you by Unfashionable by St. Francis. Are your clothes too comfortable? Have you been looking for a place you can buy aesthetic and unfashionable clothes? Look no further. See Unfashionable by St. Francis. For your own hair shirt, visit the website and enter the code Le Jongleur de Dieu.
I think it's Le Jongleur de Dieu.
Le Jongleur de Dieu.
Le Jongleur de Dieu.
Le Jongleur?
Jongleur.
The Jongler.
Le Jongleur de Dieu.
I'm just a jongler, though my story is seldom.
In Umberg.
A jonglin' wheel go.
Day.
A jonglin'
we. Jongler?
Lee Jongler? I barely know her.
Okay, the code doesn't actually really matter. The shirts are free either way, so let's just get into it. Pupil, do you have a weather update for us?
Yeah, student, this week's weather report is a doozy. Starting with the important stuff here, tomorrow's heat index will be hot. Mom, I told you I was going to work.
Okay. Learner, do you have an update on the morale of the student body?
Yeah, I've been keeping my ear to the ground, and the Earth's rumblings are telling me that cynicism within the student body is on the rise. In my mind, this cynicism is totally reasonable. Most of us are here at Triple HA against our own will, and those of us who had their choice had no idea that we would be required to work and get along with people for 2 whole years.
All right. Thank you, Learner. We've got to let you go. I don't want to keep you from your other important work. Thanks for coming in.
I actually don't have anything to get to. I don't mind joining you for the rest of the show. I'll just stay here.
Okay. Yeah. Stick around as long as you want to. Then. Last week, after we celebrated a student's birthday on the show, we received thousands of pictures and videos of our fans celebrating with us. Here's just a sample. I assure you, this was only one of many we received. Thank you all for celebrating with us. Admin sent us this announcement to be made on TMR. It has come to our attention that as the semester goes on, the SDL has been constantly rising. If this trend is not addressed soon, it may soon be out of control. So, we appeal to each of you, take a long look inside yourself. Inside of you are 2 wolves, one old grizzled grandpa wolf and one cute little baby wolf. The grandpa isn't actually the baby wolf's grandpa, he's just an old wolf. Kind of an uncle figure. And the young wolf isn't really a wolf, he's actually a golden retriever pup who got lost in the wild. Take a long look inside, then see a therapist to address your inner wolf problem. Okay, thank you, Admin, for that timely bit of advice. I think we all needed to hear that. Following Ungrounded's recent departure, Hermeneutic has also made the decision to leave our community. Herman left to become a modern-day St. Francis. In what can only be described as an unnecessarily dramatic stunt, Herman marched up to Admin's office and ripped off his Triple HA uniform, revealing a hair shirt, hair pants, and hair shoes underneath. He hopped on his bike and rode triumphantly off campus. As far as we know, Herman is living on the streets of Beertown, dumpster diving for food and begging for rocks to build a church. It's name change season. Snarkastic's name change request has been approved, so at the end of Tuesday's chapel, he was called to the front and officially rechristened President Snarkastic. Congratulations, Prez! In the aftermath of this chapel, 13 new name change requests have been reported. On Sunday evening, an evening that is sure to live on in magnanimity, students participated in the annual Triple HA International Food Fight. Students split into small groups and made immaculate spreads of food, prepared in the styles of strange and foreign lands such as Thailand, Ohio, and Africa. After groups had set up and presented their tables of food, Professor Chestertonson performed the ceremonial first toss. He grabbed a chunk of beaver tail and flung it across the cafeteria, and then it was on. Different students chose different strategies. Embodiment of Wisdom grabbed several boiled pies from the Middle Eastern table and ran screaming into the melee, pelting her adversaries with boiled pies as she went. Misunderstood grabbed a bowl of hummus and hurled spoonfuls around the room. Producer threw Papooses frisbee style. Gorbachev sloshed boba tea over everyone, and Uncle Auctioneer smirked wisely from the corner. In the end, Blade's strategy won out. He hoarded falafel and hid in the ceiling until everyone else was incapacitated and or out of ammo. Then he swung down from his perch and calmly eliminated everyone else who was still standing by assailing them with his falafel. Congrats to Blade on his victory. Due to inattentive students across all classes, Professor Compassion has been appointed to sit in on various classes and evaluate students' behavior. Stay attentive out there. To encourage productivity, friend of the show, Bless, and a few other students hung a celebratory bell for students to ring after completing big assignments. In addition, a screaming goat button has been hung in the hallway. Here's the official bell and goat button policy. Bell is only for long-term assignments and finals. Screaming goat button may be pressed with the ringing of bell as a scream of joy, or in a moment of intense agony as a stress scream. When the button is pressed by itself as an expression of agony, no one claps. Don't you dare clap! Agony screams are limited to 1 per person per day, per the Bell administration. Sometimes truth really is stranger than fiction. On Monday night, students and volunteers and staff and children and random people who ambled in off the streets participated in spring cleaning. Some students grumbled about having to clean during prime homework hours, saying, "We prefer to fritter away good homework time on our own terms." It's hard to argue with that. After the cleaning, all joined together for a classic pretzel and water party. And now it's time for this week's PPR. TMR has received the greatest fan mail of all time. Thank you, Shane, for this beautiful picture. This little student on paper. TMR. And now, our weekly blessing upon your metaphysicals. May your goat button pushes be joy screams instead of stress screams. Thank you for tuning in to another episode for the Thursday Morning Review. This is Student signing off. Have a great week.